One. Hi everyone, I am Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and today I want to show you these cute little polar bear boxes. Aren't they cute? And so I'm kind of, you'll see, using some Halloween products, believe it or not, and with some Christmas or polar bear products. So I wanted to show you how to put these boxes come together so very easily. So actually the products I'm using are from the new mini catalog, the holiday catalog for 2023. I cannot show you anything inside yet until next month, but I can show you the products that I have using this. So there's a cute little bundle called the Beary Cute bundle. It comes with a polar bear punch and the stamp set. So the punch works with this guy, which is this one right here. This tree doesn't have a die, but it's really easy to cut out. You can kind of see the lines are easy. It's nice. It's two-step stamping, so you can put kind of the layers of the tree on the inside, put a present on the tree. If you wanted to decorate your polar bear with a scarf, you can do that. It's kind of a fun little winter Christmas set. So that's what I'm using for the boxes. Now the boxes themselves, believe it or not, work with the Tricks and Treats bundle. So you get dies with it. You get this die, so you need 2 of these to make the box, but it's so much, it's just so easy to kind of cut 2, and there you have an instant box. But it also comes with pieces. You can change your box up a little bit. So this is just kind of a basic box, which is this. But if you wanted holes, like this one I just punched a hole with a hole punch, but if you wanted holes for like ribbon, it just places them where they go. I put washi tapes on it so it wouldn't move around. There's actually 2 different holes. You can kind of see there's smaller and bigger, so for twine and ribbon. You have a zigzag edge. So if you wanted your box to have this zigzag edge, you can do that. And you can make borders. You can do a whole lot of things with these zigzag. You actually get 2 of these, the same thing, of these little tags. So if you wanted to put like a little tag on there, you can do that. Just trying to think of the non-Christmas ideas. And then these obviously are Halloween stuff. But you can do a lot with this. I like to look for bundles or things that have more than one use, and so this die is definitely a great one. And you could even, if you wanted your box to be smaller, you just cut it. And you make your box smaller. You could fold that. If you wanted it gusseted, you could fold that in. So I'll be doing a lot of things with this die. So I already have 2 of them cut out, so because you need to do the box. And so what we're going to do is, I don't know if you can see, but it scores it for you to already. So there's impressions here to fold. I actually found this easier to actually glue before we folded it. So that's what I'm going to do. You could use tear and tape as well, or you could use the Seal Plus, the stronger of the 2 seals, but you know me, I like using the glue. So I can line up really easily this whole line, make sure that's in alignment, and I'm just making sure that score mark is in alignment with my cut edge. And once that gives a second to stick, then I didn't give it long enough. Then I was folding it. So you could fold them first too. That's fine too. Let me give that a second to stick. Actually, while that's doing that, we'll just stamp our polar bear. Here it is. So I'm actually using Misty Moonlight ink. I'm looking for my piece of paper. Which is what I will stamp on the boxes themselves. And then even though this is Night of Navy ink, I used the Misty Moonlight ink and it came out, it just looks like navy. So I just stuck with the Misty. And actually, I'm going to stamp it this way because I'm going to punch out a plain polar bear too. So because I was doing some projects without the stamping. Let's see. So this lines up. Once I get it lined up, it lines up really nice. So you get this nice cute little polar bear, but you can also use a polar bear just by itself, so you don't have to stamp it. Two different looks. All right, so that should be all set. So now I'm going to fold it. Oop. You know what? All these other ones I did folded just fine by doing it that way. So I'm going to fold on all of the score lines. Again, if you wanted to fold that first before you glued it, that's fine. And then the tab. So we've made boxes before that you cut and you score and you do all that. So, you know, it's pretty similar box, but it's kind of nice that most of the work's done for you with this die. All right, and so there's a few things we're going to do. Hopefully I remember both of them before we glue our box together. The first one is we're going to stamp our snowflakes. And so the little snowflake comes right in the set. Just kind of randomly do my snowflakes. You could stamp them before you even put them together. And I did that on one of mine. But when I put it together, oh, I didn't like how that snowflake went with that one. So then I decided to do it this way. That's being really picky. All right, that's good. So the second thing, this is actually important, so which I didn't do on these ones. I put the box together and then I realized I wanted to put some ribbon through this little tag that I created, but I could get the hole punch in there, but not this one. So this is really old from Stampin' Up. It was called the Crocodile, and it did a few things. It did things with brads. Way back we used to put like brads and fasteners on things, but it also had two different hole punches, a bigger one and a smaller one. And what I love about it is I have arthritis in my hands, and so this is really easy to squeeze versus the other like standard hole punches are a little harder for me to squeeze. But when I went to put this in there, it wouldn't really fit. So I had to use the other one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up. So I cut out whoops, my pieces just went flying. So this paper goes with the whole suite. I actually got the whole suite. So we'll use the ribbon that came with it and the paper. And it's fun patterns. So like one side is graphics, kind of Nordic pattern, and then the other one is like polar bearish. This one has a night sky. I think there's actually, let me just take it all out because yeah, I hear there's no ink down here to get on mine. It's a fun little scene, so that's like nice for scrapbooking. And then you have the little stars. That's one we used. You have some fun reindeer and fox, a little more polar bears and some trees. Snowflakes and oh, that's cute, footprints. It's just kind of fun and cheery paper. Some presents and some more. That's the same pattern, just on the green. So that's the paper. That was all on the floor. That just went with it. So I already cut out my tag, and so that is from the Nested Essential dies. So you nested meaning they kind of work together. I'll just show you all the shapes because they're fun. So you get these banners. So you get 4 of each. So you get these 2 little ones and then those 2. You get these, they're kind of rounded rectangles. And then I don't even know what shape this is. You get this one. I don't even know what it's called. But they're fun little shapes. So I use these 2 dies. So that's where I got. Uh-oh, did that fall too? A whole bunch of my things just fell on the floor. Make sure that that didn't go with it. Okay, it was stuck to the dies. So I used this size for that one, and then I use this size. This is the vellum. It's in the annual catalog. There's stripes, there's flowers, and there's polka dots. So I thought it kind of went pretty well. I'm thinking ice, snow. So anyways, this is where I was getting at. So I'm going to line this up. I'm not going to glue it down. I actually, you can kind of see, I raised this a little bit higher, the tag a little higher than the box. So you can make it the same, you can make it lower, however you want it to go. But I liked mine a little bit higher, just for something a little different. And then I'm going to punch my hole now. And then, because it will be there when I put it together. Okay, so how I like to put these together is I have it all scored and folded, and then I'm just going to close it like a book. So that way I know when that's closed, I get 4 90-degree right angles. So, or if you wanted to do it, you could have it folded this way. That actually might be easier, and just fold it straight down. So I'm going to put glue on that little tab and just fold that down. It's nice and flat. And so by virtue of that, I get nice angles. So when I open it up, I'm impatient letting the glue dry. So now I have my box, although that's all right. So then I'm just going to fold in these tabs, and then when I glue it together, I'm just going to put a little strip of glue on that side. I'll fold that over, and a little strip of glue on the top of that one. Because that way I know, because when I fold that over, I'm getting it, it's making it so I have it on both the top and the bottom. But this doesn't go all the way to the edge. So if I were to put glue on the edge, some of that might seep through. So that's why I did it that way. And then I'm going to put the cover with my glue on. I'm going to invert that, and I'm going to use it to press down. Pinch that because that didn't seal. And that gives a little pressure for the bottom of the box. So that is your box. So now I already have my hole there, and I have my hole here, and I'm just going to add my vellum. And it's okay, I don't need it to be the whole length because you're only going to see a little bit of it. So I'm just going to actually just add a little glue on the top there. Stick that down. The vellum does take a little extra seconds to dry because it's like shiny and slippery. So why don't we do this? We'll put our polar bear. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. We'll put him or her. These dimensionals. Hopefully you can see, like, there's a lot of uses for this box. And then that's going to go right like that. And this is the ribbon. It's beautiful. I'm sure you can see the sparkle in there. This is part of that suite. So what I'm going to do is stick, it's like velvet. Stick it through the hole, and my tags are not attached. I figured if someone wanted to detach it and reuse it for something after they were done with their box, that they could do that. So I'm going to inch it down like that, turn it around. So this has like kind of a sloppy cut edge, so I'm going to give it a better cut. Line it up. I don't need it to be that long. And then I looked around to see what I had. So I had, this is the Starry Night thread, which I used on this one. You've used white twine. This one I use linen thread. So I'll use linen thread on this one too. And I'm just gonna, you can either tie a knot or tie a bow. And I'm sure you've seen in other videos, I leave it attached in case I need to adjust. Because it's hard, I think, to guess on the length you need, especially when tying bows, because I think sometimes that takes up more yardage than you think. And I'll just tie a knot. So So I could leave it like that, or I could tie a bow. I love linen thread. I use it as much as I can. All right. So there we go. So isn't that just the cutest thing? Move these. So you can, like a lot of things, I think a stamp bed doesn't fit. A lot of things though can fit in here. So let's actually measure. It's almost 3 inches wide and it's an inch thick. So cookies, certainly, you know, with a cellophane bag, like that would be a super cute treat. Hot sauce or, you know, you can fit tons of stuff in there. But anyways, that's kind of showcasing the 3 of the patterns of the paper. And then I did the Night of Navy and Misty Moonlight box bases and this beautiful ribbon. So again, I made the box with a Halloween bundle. So you can use it for a lot of things. I will be using it a lot coming forth, especially for different Christmas treats or Thanksgiving treats or whatever. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the box. Let me know in the comments. And if you are not a subscriber to my YouTube, just hit subscribe. And if you are not receiving my weekly emails, I invite you to do so. And you can just go to my website, mailsomethingpretty.com, and sign up, and you'll get a free tutorial for signing up right away. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.